All right, 5:22 on this Thursday morning. Time to get our ag news and check in with Bob Bosold. If he's there, there he is.
Oh, you bet. We're here. Hey, that's a neat story. You know, there are good people around this world. I don't know how that dog got away, but it's nice. People and their animals are pretty close. That's for sure.
That's for sure. And that's the type of dog my daughter actually wants someday.
Yeah, those are nice dogs.
Doodle, so.
Hyperallergenic and all that sort of stuff. They're nice dogs. That's for sure. Well, let's take a look at what's going on in agriculture this morning. Bob, this week's USDA World Agriculture Supply and Demand Report had some surprises for the corn industry, but not so much for soybeans. Now, that report showed U.S. corn exports so far this marketing year are a record 70% higher than a year ago, but with a carryover from last year and a crop of over 16.7 billion bushels this year, ending corn stocks are still over 2 billion bushels. And USDA economists expect our September through November exports will be a record of over 800 million bushels. Looking around the world, both Russia and the European Union had higher corn production this year. Ukraine reported corn yields were down 3 million metric tons, and that will limit their ability to export. For soybeans, the report not very exciting. Our soybean inspections for export are down 390 million bushels as China has purchased 330 million bushels less than they said they would buy by the end of this year. Our soybean export inspections are down 45% from a year ago. Around the world, soybean production only slightly higher, with bigger crops in Russia and India, but soybean production was down in Canada and the Ukraine, and China's production about the same as last year. Well, more information continues to come out from Washington concerning the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program that will eventually send about $12 billion to crop farmers around the country. The first thing producers must do, and this is important, is to make sure acreage reports for this year's crops are up to date and accurate at the Farm Service Agency office. That has to be done by the end of business on Friday, December 19th. That's next Friday. There will also be a payment limit of $155,000, while producers or legal entities will have an adjusted gross income cap of $900,000. Now, farm groups are supporting the program, but they also point out that crop farmers are projected to lose over $34 billion this year, so those payments will not solve their long-term financial challenges. Well, dairy markets are struggling just like the grain markets. Milk production around the world is way up from last year, as well as right here in the U.S., but well over 3% higher this fall, with milk output also up in New Zealand and the European Union. For China, even China is reporting increased production this fall, and currently the block cheese price, now the main product used to set those milk prices like our Class 3 prices, the lowest in 2 years. U.S. butter prices are now the lowest in the world as export competition is fierce across the world. Well, let's look at those markets and see where we're at. Go to the Board of Trade. First of all, mixed yesterday as we saw corn prices were actually a little lower. Beans were higher. Overnight, March corn up a penny at $4.45. Wheat up 1 to 2 cents. March down a fraction overnight, sitting at $11 a bushel. Dairy markets for products unchanged across the board. Barrel cheese, block cheese, and butter prices all the same as the day before. Class 3 prices were a little bit better, but they got a long way to go. December down a penny at $15.96. January and February both at $15.45. January was up a dime. February was up a nickel. And before I leave, Bob, I got to say how spiffy Derek looked with his scarf when he was out on the patio doing the weather. I like his scarf.
He looks good in a scarf. He wears it well.
He
He's got
looks
that perfect
good in
hair.
He looks good in anything. He's a clothes horse, that boy.
Wow.
Does Bob want my number?
He's blushing over there.
You guys have a good one. Stay warm. We'll see you in the morning.
Bob, I'm going to send the pics to you, too. We got a pic later today.
Do it.
All right.
Our Locust Lane Elementary School.